Hey everyone, welcome to another live stream from Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. Can't believe it's Sunday night again. Sunday afternoon for some, I know. Comes round very quick, doesn't it? Um, so, as promised, another Elvis Fan of the Week quiz. And as I mentioned in my video message a few days ago, it's 2-0 to the boys. So come on, girls, you really got to try harder this week and don't let the men get 3 victories in a row. So I'll be revealing the questions in a few minutes. Hi, Vincenzo. Hi, Marie's the name from Sweden. Good to see you again. Don't forget, everybody, the super chat function. As we get into the live stream, the comments do get quite fast, and I can miss some comments and questions. So if you do want to use the super chat function, it highlights the chat until I can read it out or address it. Hi, Doug. Doug, are you going to be knocked off your perch? Are you going to be dethroned? Is somebody going to take your Elvis Fan of the Week, or will it roll over to another week? You could hold on to the crown for another week. Hi, John. Hi, David. How's things? Yeah, as I say, don't forget the super chat function. If when it starts speeding up, you can get it by clicking on the $ next to the Say Something box. Okay, so I can see Spanish Eyes 68 as well. Who else is going to join me tonight? Richard Klein. Hi, Richard. I'm just actually looking. I'm just noticing how long my hair is getting. This is the lockdown haircut, because over here in Ireland, all the hairdressers and barbers is still closed. Hi, Sean. The back is not too bad, actually. It's got a lot better over the last couple of weeks. Hi, Danny. How are you doing? Did you like the Mexican sundial jumpsuit? No, I didn't. It wasn't one of my favorites. As I've mentioned on here before, actually, my favorite was the peacock. And I liked some of the early jumpsuits from 1969 to 1970. But the Mexican sundial wasn't one of my favorites. It looked very heavy. He didn't really look that comfortable in it sometimes, and it sort of emphasized the bloating around his midriff. So no, it wasn't one of my favorites. Jill says, love the hair. I can't wait to get it cut. Hi, John. Hi, Denise. Vincenzo, every week you ask, so I'm going to show it to you. I'll take a drink while I'm looking at it as well. Hi, Sandro. Welcome to the chat. Now, ladies, I'm addressing all you ladies at the moment. Do you feel confident? Hi, Arkansas Dave. Do you feel confident this week that you're going to knock the boys off their thrones? The first week was a man, and then George Newell, and then last week it was Doug Dickerson. And who is it going to be this week? I'll reveal the questions in a few minutes. Don't forget the super chat function if you want me to answer something in particular. King, I can't say whether they're easy questions or not. I deliberated over them for quite a while during the week. I winkled out a few questions, and I narrowed them down to 3, which I thought wouldn't be really, really, really easy, because number 1, I'd have too many right answers, and number 2, it has to be worth winning. So to be fan of the week, you've got to be fairly good at these 3 questions. Vincenzo says his favorite was the American Eagle jumpsuit. Yeah, that was another good one. The Concho was a good one. from 1970. The Red Ladder was another good one. We had that actually the other week, didn't we, playing down below. That's one of the reasons why my video got blocked, was because Warner Brothers didn't like me playing that video. No, I haven't got the new Elvis Nashville sessions, and what do you think of it? No, but I'm going to get it. And I had a thought there this afternoon that I would love to speak to either Ernst or Ross Matt Sprang. Is it Ross Matt Sprang or Matt Ross Sprang? I'm getting confused now. I think it might be Matt Ross Sprang, I think, isn't it? I love the snowflake. I think the rainbow jumpsuit was just called the rainbow suit. Hi Loretta, how are you doing? I'm waiting for a few more people to come on, and then I can reveal the 3 questions. Try and answer them without resorting to Google. I know that's a hard thing to do. I must stop saying that word as well, because every time I say that word, my Google Assistant in the background actually goes off. You see what I said? I just said it again then, didn't I? Yeah, hit the like button. That's right. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share these videos. And share my other videos as well, the ones that are on the YouTube channel. Have you heard of the new doc, Elvis, Are You Lonesome Tonight? No, I haven't. I must admit I haven't. What did everybody think of my Larry Strickland interview? If you haven't had chance yet, please do check it out, because it's very, very good. Heartwarming, really, really nice fella. And it was emotional at times as well, I must admit. Hi, Jake. How you doing? Yeah, and Larry was just such a nice fella. He really was. He tells a story about his first meeting with Elvis, and somebody was actually saying to me a couple of hours ago that they thought that Elvis humiliated Larry, but it didn't come across as Larry feeling humiliated. He came across as him just being worried, sort of worried that he wasn't going to fit in. But humiliation, I don't think it was. You know, Elvis was just joking about, you know. So I don't know. I disagree with the person that said they thought he was being humiliated. No, Jake, I'm going to reveal the questions in a few minutes. So just sit tight. I just want a few more people to come in. And I was just really saying about how try to work it out. Try to work out the questions without Googling. Okay. Yeah, Larry, I asked Larry about the sessions in the Jungle Room. I wanted to know, I know fans wanted to know, but I also wanted to know for myself if he could confirm where he was standing in the Jungle Room when they were, when they were recording, and he confirmed that. Larry he was quite late to the group, yeah. In fact, he was the last person, I think, to actually join the group, and it was 1974. I don't think we get reels over here, Dave, but I think it normally goes on one of the Sky or the satellite channels. So yeah, hopefully, because the other thing, the autopsy one was on reels, and then a few weeks later it came to one of our satellite channels. So I'll look out for that. November the 28th at 7 p.m. on reels. Okay, and it's called Elvis, Are You Lonesome Tonight? Okay, right. Andy, thanks. You enjoyed the Larry Strickland interview. I haven't got one lined up yet for next week, but that doesn't mean I'm not doing one, because they can sometimes happen very quickly. I have a few in the melting pot, if that makes sense. I have a few people that are being asked, and they've just got to confirm yes or no. So they could confirm tomorrow, and I could actually, it could happen very quick. This time next week, I could be saying, hey, what did you think of my latest interview with blah, 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 you know. Heard Lisa Maria started recording in the Jungle Room. I hadn't heard that, I must admit. I hadn't heard that. It'd be great if she did some more of those. Really would. Okay, who's up for the quiz? Who would like to see the quiz questions? The print on my screen is blurry. I've actually put slow mode on, so you have to wait 45 seconds. I've just tried to slow it down a little bit tonight because it was going so fast last week that I could barely keep up. I actually need a mod. I need a moderator to help me. It'd have to be available every Sunday for an hour. Yeah, Vicky, I agree with you. Elvis wouldn't intentionally humiliate anyone. You know, it was probably said as a joke. And maybe people think that it was humiliating to Larry, but Larry didn't come across that he felt humiliated. Yeah, by the way, another thing, I said it last week as well. If you want to be a guest on one of these live streams, you can get in touch with me by email, Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel @gmail.com. You know, yeah, King, you said that last week. Yeah, it might affect your benefits. Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to be able to kind of, you know, you wouldn't have to be on for the whole show. We could just dip in, we could talk to you, and then you could dip out again. But it'd be nice just for somebody to join me and talk about, you know, if they met Elvis, that would be great. If somebody's here would like to join me and tell us about you meeting Elvis, or going to see Elvis, or getting a scarf, or anything like that, I'd love for somebody to join me. And once I know that I've got some guests lined up, I can download the software I need. And I mean, you know, it is very easy. Don't be put off, because I send you a link, you click on the link, you go in, you check your mic, you check your camera, you know, you check everything like that, and then you click on enter broadcast studio, and then you go into a waiting room. I see you there, and then as soon as I'm ready to bring you in, I just bring you in. So you don't need any fancy equipment, you don't need to download anything. Just as long as you've got a decent mic, decent camera, decent light, that's it. That's all you need. So anybody wants to join me for part of the live stream, you can email me at elvistheultimatefan.channel @gmail.com. Yeah, it's funny you should say that, Sandro. I saw an interview with Tom Hanks the other day. I didn't get a chance to finish it off, but one of the first things that I noticed when Tom was being interviewed was he already has the look of Colonel Parker about him. He had the glasses, the round glasses that Parker sometimes wore, and he has the haircut, which is very, very little hair, because as we know, Tom Parker didn't have a lot of hair. So the biopic is in full swing as far as I know, and it's being filmed as we speak. Yeah, King, that's a good idea. I never thought of that. Go to the three dots and change your screen settings to 720p. I can just actually look here, and just have a look and make sure. I'm looking at my feed, and it's pin sharp. So, yeah, that's probably what it is. Does meeting Bob Joyce count? Well, it counts for meeting Bob Joyce, but it doesn't count for meeting for Elvis. Martin, yeah, the software I'm going to be using is StreamYard. I was whittling it down during the week. Evening, Sir Stephen. Hi, Banjo Paul. Paul, I got an email from you earlier on today, but it said it was a virus and you hadn't sent me any emails from that email address before. So if it was you and it's safe, you can send it again, but I had to delete it. But I wasn't too sure. Hi, Marcia. How are you doing? Right. We are going to or I am going to unveil these 3 Fan of the Week quiz questions. Okay. I hope Tom Hanks wins an award for this role. Unlikely. No, it's not because I don't think he's going to do a good job. It's just because Elvis films just don't tend to win that many awards. I mean, I know Elvis on Tour won a Golden Globe. Okay, Paul. Yeah, so it was safe. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. It's just you must have sent it from another email address, maybe. Okay, right. Drum roll. If somebody'd like to provide a drum roll, I'm going to reveal the 3 questions. And as I say, try to work it out yourself, or don't Google. And ladies, don't forget. Yeah, King, with StreamYard, you only get 20 hours free a week unless you pay $20 a month. That's right, yeah. But then again, I don't think I'd be streaming more than 20 hours a month. Anyway, I'll try it out anyway. I know you get a little you get a little StreamYard logo up in the top of the corner of the screen as well, but I wouldn't mind that too much anyway. I don't know whether Priscilla will be making a cameo in the new biopic. It doesn't make sense because there's already somebody playing Priscilla. I don't know whether the story is from Colonel Tom Parker's point of view, or if is it from Elvis's point of view, or is it a mixture of both? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to give it a go. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna go and see it when it comes out. Hopefully by November 2021, 12 months from now, there will be sufficient enough vaccinated people that we can all go about our business. Yeah, I saw the lights going up at Graceland. Yeah, in Graceland. Yeah, I go to the Graceland live stream almost every day. I don't comment every day, but I do have a wee peep, and the meditation garden and so forth, you know. Yeah, it's going to be more on Colonel Parker's life. Yeah, no, I think they should split it down the middle. They should get, I mean, who's the star? Who gets star billing on the, does anybody know who gets star billing? Is star billing Tom Hanks, or is it Austin Butler? Or is it dual stardom? You know. Dave, that's a very, very hard question. That's a very, very hard question. Is Elvis on Tour better than That's the Way It Is? Well, you see, the thing is That's the Way It Is has been re-edited and given a recut, hasn't it, and a remaster, whereas that Elvis on Tour hasn't. So it's a difficult one. Given, you know, if they could start afresh and just re-edit and remaster everything on Elvis on Tour could turn out to be better than That's the Way It Is. That's the thing. So, no, I didn't get Elvis from Elvis in Nashville yet. No, but we can actually talk about that when I do. Yeah, it could be more about their relationship, but I'm wondering whether they'll be brutally honest about it or not. That's what I would want to know. Right. Okay. I've kept you waiting long enough. So I'm going to reveal the 3 questions. And as I say, don't forget super chat. If you want to super chat, I can see they're highlighted and they stay on my screen till I can address them. Okay. No, the movie hasn't come out yet, Marcia. It's going to come out in November 2021. Vincenzo says Elvis on Tour is better. No one looks like Elvis, to be fair. Well, this is it. Yeah, I don't think they're going to try and make them completely look like look completely like Elvis. And Tom Hanks obviously doesn't look like. Well, he looks a bit like him with the hair and the glasses, but I'm surprised he hasn't put on a bit more weight, because I know he lost a lot of weight for Castaway, so maybe he should have put on a lot of weight for this. Right, here we go. Okay, Drum roll for the questions. There you go. If you can't read them, I'll read them out for you. But I've made them yellow so they stand out. And question 1, what was the final track Elvis recorded in a recording studio setting? Okay, that's question 1. Now, we know that on the evening of his death, he sat down at the piano in the outside the racquetball court, and he played. One of the songs he sang was "Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain." That's not what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for what was the final track Elvis recorded in a recording studio setting. Okay. Question 2, when did Elvis spend his first night in Graceland? All right. And question 3, where was Elvis's final live performance of the 1950s? Okay. So if you can answer all 3 questions and put all 3 answers in one comment, don't comment 1, comment 2, comment 3. Just put it all in one comment. Okay. And we'll take it from there. And I will randomly pick a winner near the end of the show. Okay. Doug is saying wow. Does that mean wow that they're hard? I hope I haven't shot myself in the foot and made them too hard, too difficult. We're going to have to get some sort of prize or recognition, more than just saying Doug Dickerson is fan of the week or George Newell is fan of the week. We'll have to think of something. I think if I get the if I get the StreamYard software all set up and everything like that, we can have last week's winner on, if you understand what I mean. So the next week, the winner this week is, and if they want to join me on the show, they can. Okay. Okay, Jake, that's not right. I'm afraid. Danny Hingley, that's not right. No, nobody's got it right yet. I know, I've only just revealed the questions, but Danny is saying it's easy for you. No. June 1957. I actually need the date, the month, and the year. Unless you're putting the 2nd of June. Maybe not. No, you're not, actually. BP Monkman. Hello. Hi. Welcome to the show. Well, David, basically what I'm going to say is in a recording studio setting. Okay? A recording studio setting. Vincenzo, none of those are right, unfortunately. Jake, no. Pieces of My Life, no, not correct. I think Doug Dickerson's title is safe for another week. I'd say he's going to have 2 weeks. Yeah, John, I'll run through the questions again. What was the final track Elvis recorded in a recording studio setting? Recording studio setting. Hi, Chris. When did Elvis spend his first night in Graceland? And where was Elvis's final live performance of the 1950s? Okay. And I'm going to be strict, because people are just saying, May 1957 or April 1957 for when did Elvis spend his first night in Graceland. If they can give me the date of when he spent his first full night in Graceland, that will give you that will make you win. So if it's 2 people but one person's just put the month and the year and somebody else puts the month, day and year, then they have it. Nice. As Elvis said in That's the Way It Is, straight vodka, it's good for you, man. That's straight water. Andre, no, that's not right. BP Monkman, no, that's not right. Doug, if you're listening, yeah, you're safe for another week. Jake, that's only one answer. You have to put all three together. And I'm just checking to see whether that's right. So I'm not really saying whether it's right or not, but I'm asking people to put all three together. People aren't reading the questions right. Indianapolis Market Square Arena on June the 26th, 1977 was his last concert ever. But I'm asking, where was Elvis's final live performance of the 1950s? No, Vincenzo, that's not right. Final track he recorded in the studio was I Can Help. He spent his first night in Graceland in May 31st, 1957, and his last concert in 1957 was in Hawaii on November 11th, 1957. Okay, that's not right. Or they're not all right. Arkansas Dave, yeah. Saying, where was Elvis's final live performance of the 1950s? Okay. Martin, he'll have to go. June 26th, 1957. Conroy Boxing Bowl, Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, on the 11th of November, 1957. That's quite an elaborate answer. Very elaborate. No, Jake, you didn't get it, unfortunately. I'll just make a note of one of those questions. I can tell you. Oh, hi, Chris. I enjoyed Larry Strickland. What a lovely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Way Down in the Jungle Room, June the 6th, 1957, Hawaii. No, that's not right. Okay. Over the last couple of minutes, somebody has got it right. There's one. Actually, there's two people who've got it right, actually. The only thing is, what I've got to tell you is that it's not a lady. So unless something changes, it's going to be 3-0 to the boys. So, yeah. That didn't take long. Yeah, Martin, the last song was released, yeah. Yeah. I don't know whether people have been doing a bit of Googling. Because I'm noticing now the answers are getting a bit more specific and more well defined. So, but we have a few right answers coming in now. Okay. Gerilmo Mayor Bolta, if I've got your name wrong, sorry, but no, Tupelo, Mississippi, 27th of September 1957 is not right. No. BP Monkman says, I'm trying to Google but couldn't find it. Now you're cheating, right? I'm crossing you off my list. You mustn't. You're supposed to know these things off the top of your head. Yeah, Chris, Larry was lovely is right, yeah. Too hard for me, I give up. King. Will I try and make him easier next week? Ladies, ladies, don't let the boys get three in a row. Come on, come on. Yeah, Robert, he was on Scottish soil for a couple of hours, wasn't he, in Prestwick? They touched down to refuel when he was coming back from the when he was coming back from Germany. Uh, Denise, I don't know whether you got one question right or not. Nope. Jan M, sorry. Doug is having a stab to see if he can retain his crown. Marie's the name. Yeah. I'm not actually saying yet, Martin. Have one stab and then maybe leave it at that. Okay, so what was the final track Elvis recorded in a recording studio setting? When did Elvis spend his first night in Graceland? And where was Elvis's final live performance of the 1950s? Okay. Yeah, I know. If you have an exam in school, Google really helps, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't be. King says that when Elvis was in Prestwick, he went into his grandma's. Yeah. That's when your heartaches begin. Vancouver Fragments, August 31st. No, that's not right. No. Hmm. More easy questions like what color hair or Elvis's last name. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Uh, oh, I agree 100%, John. Yeah, no, just because not everybody knows these answers off the top of his head doesn't mean they're any less of a fan. No, I'm conscious though not to make them too easy because it would just be kind of silly, you know. Um, Jake is answering. He'll have to go. June the 26th, 1957, his first night in Graceland, and November the 11th, 1957, Honolulu, Hawaii. Actually, David, that's a very good. Yeah, it's a very good point. Questions should be asked over the show to stop Google geniuses. Yeah, maybe I should kind of just spread them out and, yeah, introduce them one at a time. Well, I kind of did serious research. I knew them just off on the top of my head. Um, to be honest, that's how much of a geek I am. Um, um, JC22, final track You'll Have to Go, Graceland, was June the 26th, 1957, and last performance November the 11th, 1957. JC, where exactly in where was it in November the 11th, 1957? Okay. Canada, no. Banjo, Paul, no, that's not right. He went to the grandma's, yeah. Hi, Mark. How you doing? See if you can answer these three questions, Mark. What was the final track Elvis recorded in a recording studio setting? When did Elvis spend his first night in Graceland? And where was Elvis's final live performance of the 1950s? The 1950s, not his final performance, but the last final performances of the 1950s. No, it's not She Wears My Ring. Vicky, no, no, a lot later than that. Well, David, if the question or if the answer is one of the ones he did in Graceland, was it a studio setting? He sang live, but he sang live a lot of the time in the studio. I mean, we know he just sang into a hand mic. You could argue that all the 1970, all the Nashville tracks that have just been re-released on that great box set, he was singing live. So if the answer is one of the tracks he recorded in Graceland for question 1, then yeah, I would say Graceland was a studio setting. I would, yeah. Where is the Graceland live stream, Steve? Yeah, it's on Graceland.com. You just go to Graceland.com and click on Graceland Cam. The camera is actually, the keyhole that's facing the front door of the mansion. If you were to stand with your back to the mansion in the keyhole and look directly in front of you, you would see the camera. It's on a pole. That's where you find the live stream. Yeah, you go to Graceland.com and then go to Graceland Cam. Okay, Jake is saying he'll have to go October 76, June 26, 1957, and November the 11th, 1957, Honolulu, Hawaii. Okay. Joseph says, do you ever think Elvis sang in the shower? Well, he definitely sang in the shower in G.I. Blues. You remember that? He sang What She Really Like. He sang in the ghetto. Have you heard it on the shower? Yeah. Do you think that the Rapid City CBS special concert was better than the Omaha one? Yes, I do. I think out of the two of them, the Rapid City is the better of the two. He had an off night in Omaha. There was even better concerts than Rapid City during that tour, but unfortunately, those are the only two that were recorded. They filmed at Indianapolis, the final night, but the crew was only filming the plane arriving and then Todd Slaughter meeting him. So, yeah. So I do think that Rapid City was better than Omaha. Yeah, I must check out the Graceland Lights. I heard a story where Tom Jones saying he heard Elvis singing in the shower while Tom Jones was with him. That would be something, wouldn't it? Imagine waking up in the guest bedroom in the morning and hearing Elvis Presley singing in the shower. Yeah, man. Vicky, yeah, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. No, it's not, unfortunately. He sang that on the final night, but it wasn't in a studio setting as such. Yeah, BP Monkman says they always liked Elvis. That's the way it is, more than Elvis on tour. Yeah, I'm out. Loretta says Doug is stealing his answers from everyone else's. Elvis actually took a fall in 1967. David, yes, he was just. It was early 1957 and he was due to start filming on Clambake and he tripped over a cable in the bathroom or something and cracked his head. Yeah, Jake, I see your answer there, yeah. No, it's not Moody Blue. And actually that fall that Elvis had in 1967 actually caused concussion. Sandro says he was. Well, you're very honest, Sandro. You said you were Googling the questions. Okay. Right, I won't put you in, Sandro. I heard that Tom Jones' interview said that one of the entourage had to help him pull his leather trousers up. Yeah, I think he might have hit his head on the bathtub, yeah. He was never the same after that fall. His mood went downhill. Yeah, I don't know whether he got the treatment he should have done. They took portable X-ray machine out to the house, and I don't know. It's a lot of people have said that a lot of his troubles stemmed from hitting his head. Yeah, well, Vicky, that's when Parker renegotiated his contract, and he told Larry that he wasn't welcome in some uncertain terms, and he asked He asked Larry to stop bringing out books to him, I believe, and they burnt a lot of the books as well. It may well include the Jungle Room, yes, Chris. Yeah, I'm actually, you know, that's why I kind of say in a recording studio setting, because I do actually class it a studio setting. However, I don't actually consider Moody Blue and From Elvis Presley Boulevard as his final studio albums. Believe it or not, I always think that his last studio album was Today, Elvis Today, because I know a lot of people say, well, there was studio mics and there was studio equipment out the back of Graceland, but it wasn't actually in a studio. But for this question, in a studio setting, recording studio setting. That's a very good question, Dave. I don't know whether Colonel had any say when Vernon fired Red, Sonny and Dave. But if somebody asked me to say one way or the other, I would say probably yes. He probably guided Vernon and encouraged Vernon to go through with it. Because I think he thought they were a bad influence on Elvis, and they were costing Elvis money. But then again, Parker always says he didn't get involved with Elvis, the money side of things. Elvis could spend his money on whatever he wanted. He actually said once he could flush all his money away for all I care. So I don't know. He probably did guide Vernon. Vernon probably asked Colonel what he thought. Yeah, Chris has ordered one of these mugs, and she says she's having a cuppa in it. So cheers, Chris. So, does anybody want to have a final? Well, not a final, but if you haven't typed out your answers yet, it's what was the final track Elvis recorded in a recording studio setting? When did Elvis spend his first night in Graceland? Where was Elvis' final live performance of the 1950s? And as I say, don't forget, if you want to super chat, you can super chat, and I'll definitely see the answer highlighted by clicking. If you click on the dollar sign, it just makes it easier for me, because the chat moves very fast sometimes. I think Martin, I think he tried to sing the song "Feelings" at Graceland, I think, but I don't think it worked out. Yeah, well, I hopefully, Rob, there might be new light shed on the Parker thing. I'm wondering, whose side of the story they're using, because there's always two sides to the story, isn't there? Elvis really got took for granted in '76. Mm-hmm. Sandro, yeah. Can you imagine Elvis singing "A Dog's Life" and "Old MacDonald" in Vegas? I'd say he wouldn't even go near it. I'd say he forgot them almost as soon as the films were finished. No, John, I wouldn't consider myself the font of all Elvis knowledge. Definitely not. No, I just consider myself a fan. So I'm hoping that Elvis did pay a lot of tax in the 70s. In fact, he paid a lot of tax full stop. 90% sounds very high, but I wouldn't I wouldn't be surprised. I'm afraid I can't read that one out, Edimar, because I don't. It's foreign language, unfortunately, and I'm not very good. I can't speak English very well. Never mind foreign languages. Sorry about that. I might go back later and when it's on replay, and I might try and use Google Translate. Thanks, David. I didn't get chance to look at many. Cheryl Lynn, okay. How are you? She's answered the questions. If you want to just, I missed them actually, Cheryl Lynn. If you can type them out again, and I'll check them. It's sometimes easier, sometimes if people can use the super chat because they're going so fast. Yeah, I was going to say, if there's anybody interested in joining me for a live stream or part of this live stream one week as a guest, if they want to email me at Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. If they can do that, it'll be great, because I would appreciate some company and just to bounce a few questions and ideas of other people. It's very, very easy, because it looks like I'm going to be using something called StreamYard, where I just send you a link and you click on the link, and then you just check your mic and you check your camera, and then you enter the broadcast studio, and then I bring you in. So if anybody is interested in joining me for a show, part of the live stream, do that. Debbie says, Elvis paid taxes and took no deductions. Wow. Debbie, do you know the answers to any of these? Oh, here's Cheryl Lynn. Here we go. He'll have to go June 26, 1957 in Graceland, Hawaii Conroy Boxing Bowl Barracks. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah. Okay. It looks like Jake is gonna has offered to join me maybe one week, and Doug has offered to join me, and I think Daniel has offered to join me as well. The only thing I'd say, Jake, is I know you did ask a question. You can only use your phone, but I think it might be best to use a computer, either a desktop or a laptop, because the quality of the picture quality and the audio quality would probably be better using a laptop or a desktop. Rob, says he would like to join me for a live stream as well. Well, like I say, if anybody wants to add their list to it, just send me an email at Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. I nearly forgot then what my email address was. Yeah, Chris is referring there to the interview I did with Larry Strickland, and I actually admitted to Larry that at times it did get a bit emotional for me when he was saying about hearing about Elvis dying, how he found out about his death, then going to Graceland and seeing Elvis in the casket and then singing the songs at the funeral. So yes. Oh, Jan says the phones are fine. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, what I'll do is I will do a test on StreamYard with the person before they come on. Anyway, you can do that without going live. I think you just do a test, because the better the picture quality and sound quality, the better. Because it's not good to have ropey audio or ropey camera. Yeah, a tablet is fine. The only thing I would say about a tablet or a phone is how you would hold it. You'd have to put it on a holder probably, or on a tripod. That's the only thing. You don't want to be holding it like that in your hand, Ruth Daniel. Okay. You were at the gate in 1976. That's very interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. Uh, I was supposed to be on today. Yeah, no, that's my fault, Doug. I apologize 100%. I just haven't got my act together. Um, Getting, the software downloaded. I've been busy with other things. I hold my hand up, yeah. But we will definitely get guests on, and like I say, all you've got to Doug is definitely in the queue, and anybody else that wants to join the queue to join me for a live stream or part of a live stream, um, you know, email me, email me. I don't think there's any added scenes, no, but it's the new version. It's the 2001 version that is being shown at cinemas, movie houses in America. That's brilliant. Yeah, 82-year-old lady on live stream. Yeah, that's very good. I always find when I'm doing interviews with uh, Elvis, people from the Elvis world, they are in their 80s, and I'm always conscious that it's, the technology might be too much for them. But yeah, no, there's some 80-year-olds out there that can do really, really well. Yeah, Vernon did a lot of the accounts and so forth, and the money side of things for Elvis. But as you say, he wasn't the most literate person, um, and I always think that um, he never. I lost my train of thought now. You know, he never put any. He never put any money aside for Elvis. It was all money coming in and money going straight back out again. He never kind of looked for the rainy day. He never. That's one of the reasons why Elvis had to keep working and working and working. There was no rainy day money, unfortunately. Nothing set aside. Today, anybody earning vast amounts of money, they have all these financial advisors making sure that if they hit hard times, then they have this to fall back on and so forth. But Elvis had nothing to fall back on, sadly. Yeah, last time he done the books, Vernon got jailed. Well, there was a story about him altering a check, wasn't he, with somebody else and having to do time, unfortunately. But they were hard times. They were hard times, and he probably felt disgruntled that they didn't get a fair price for the hog that they sold. I agree with Jake there. Ruth Daniel, you are lucky to be at the gates. Yeah, yeah. I was at the gates, but unfortunately, when I was at the gates, Elvis was long gone, unfortunately. You imagine standing at the gates and the gates opening and Elvis coming out. Something else. Well, Colonel Tom Parker didn't take all Elvis's money, but he took a great deal of it. He took 50% of it. Dixie Lock, no. Linda Thompson has said no. I haven't asked Sam Thompson yet. And Jerry Schilling has been asked, as far as I know, as far as I remember. I sent Jerry a email a few weeks back. Yeah, Ruth. Somebody's asking there, did you speak to Elvis at the gates? The Colonel had gambling debts, yeah. Yeah, Robert, I did. I got my wife to take pictures of me at the gates, but I don't know where they are at the moment because they are actually pictures. Then they're not. This was before the days of digital photography. Well, a lot of people do blame Parker uh, for ripping Elvis off. It'll be interesting to see how I Cheryl Lynn, I did get your answers. Yes, I got you three answers. Uh, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle this Tom Hanks movie. How brutally honest it will be, and if they'll actually change any things that we know. John, you can ask me where I am in Ireland. Yeah, I'm in County Louth, which is approximately about 50 miles north of Dublin. I did get your answers, Vincenzo, yeah. Yeah, Rob, I went through a bad stage, fear of flying as well. I seem to have got hold of it again now, but I went through a very bad stage. I don't know what it was. Just something clicked in me, and I was not terrified, but I wasn't too good. In fact, I went through a stage where I couldn't really fly on a plane unless I took not Valium. It was something else. I can't remember what it was, but it was given to me by the doctor anyway, and I took it. Xanax. Xanax? Is there something called Xanax? And it kind of helped. Yeah, I see what you mean, Doug. Yeah, some people blame Elvis for letting the Colonel rip him off. Yeah, they say it was Elvis's fault. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I wrote thanks Elvis on the wall. That's what I did. I wrote thanks Elvis. We couldn't find much space actually for writing much. So I just put thanks Elvis. I'm sure if he saw me doing it, he knows why. I mean, yeah, Richard, yeah, Xanax, yeah. I had to take some Xanax once. Uh, yeah, no, PayPal, no, you don't need PayPal. You just need to click on the super chat, I think. Providing you're registered to for money to come in and out, I think it'll give you a super chat anyway. So, um, I am going to say that we have some correct answers. Um, and this week, we do have some females that have got the answers right. So I could actually randomly pick in a minute with my pen. I throw it down and whatever it actually which actual name it stays the nearest to is the person that's won. So we do have some male and some female correct answers to those three questions. So Doug is going to be knocked off his he's going to be dethroned. But is he going to be dethroned by a male or is he going to be dethroned by a female? And are the boys going to get three in a row, or is it going to be the first week that, as Arkansas Dave says, girl power wins? Xanax is very addictive, only in moderation. You don't want to end up like Elvis. Well, no, I only took a couple going over to my destination, and then when I came back 2 weeks later, but I wouldn't take it on a regular basis. Google is Elvis fan of the week. Yeah, I know. I think what I might do is, I think David suggested that I give you a question at the start, question 2 in the middle, and then finally question 3. I don't know whether they'll be too messy though. That's the only thing. I'd have different ones coming in then. We'll see how it works. That's a better idea than me just giving you all 3 questions at once. There's always next week. Yes, there will be next week, and hopefully we might have a guest on next week for part of the live stream, if it can work and we get our cameras working properly, and we can get the sound and so forth. And as I say, it's very, very easy. You just click on the link, check your mic, check your camera, check the light to make sure we can see you properly, and away you go. Debbie, I might have missed yours because, as I was saying, they do go so fast sometimes. I'll see any super chats definitely because they hold on the screen till I address them. But if you want to... Gail, which book was Elvis reading before he passed? That's a super chat. I see that straight away. Thank you very much for that, Gail. He was. They say there's 2 versions of what he was reading. They say, and that was, some say it was the Shroud of Turin, and somebody else has said that it was a book about sexual positions correlated with star signs. whatever, the star sign you had meant that you had to have sex in that particular position. So I actually think I agree with Jake. It's more likely to be the scientific search for the face of Jesus. That's the one that Ginger remembers, unless he swapped it when he went in the bathroom. But I don't know. Yeah, I would tend to agree with Ginger's version. The other version sounds just like an attempt to embarrass and sort of dirty Elvis's name, if you like. Joseph, Billy Smith is still very much alive and kicking. Yeah, he appears on YouTube quite frequently with his son. I can't remember his son's name now. It's gone. Somebody tell me quick what Billy Smith's son's name is. It's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, Billy has a YouTube channel. I think Danny. Thanks, Jan M. It was stuck somewhere there. It wouldn't come out. Yes, I think it's called Memphis Mafia Kid, I believe, and they reminisce about Elvis and they answer questions and things like that. Yeah, they are. Yeah, Danny. Thanks, guys. If ever I get stuck like that, I know you can help me out. That's why I just love the participation that you guys give me every week. It's so appreciated. It really is. I want to say through the camera, it's great. It really is. It really, really is. So, anybody wants to give me a final answer on those 3 questions? If you want to super chat, I'll see it straight away. Or if you just want to type it, I'll hopefully I won't miss it. The chat goes very, very quickly sometimes. Yeah, Joey is the second son's name too. That's correct. Yeah, but it was Danny I was trying to think of. Danny is the one that does the Memphis Mafia Kid. Yeah, actually, if anybody wants to come on and talk about the new box set, Elvis in Nashville, it would be great. I was thinking of getting Matt Ross Sprang on one of my podcasts. I was thinking of asking him, would he like to come on and talk about working on that with Ernst? It is Matt Ross Sprang, isn't it? Have you got it, Jake? Have you got the new Elvis in Nashville? No word on Elvis's on Red's book. No. Stephen, was the last song he recorded called "You'll Have to Go"? It might have been, but that's only one answer. I need all 3. John, you can ask me when I first became an Elvis fan. I first became an Elvis fan when I was about 1, I think, and I'm 57 now. Joseph. Joe is Billy's wife's name. Wow, Ruth, you met him on tour in Greensboro. Well, you should come on the show and talk about it. I'd love people to come on and talk about meeting Elvis. You can get in touch with me at elvistheultimatefan@gmail.com. Looks like I'm going to have plenty of guests anyway. Yes, Gail, Billy is a great fun character. You're right, yeah. I sent a message to Billy and Joe, would they come on the podcast channel and speak to me, but they never got back to me, unfortunately. They probably get asked so many times. They're plagued with people asking them to interview. And Billy's not that young anymore. He's probably getting tired. He said he'd never get tired of talking about Elvis, but he probably gets tired of having to do so much. Yeah, Jake says he's an Elvis fan since he was 2. How old are you now, Jake? I know are you a teenager or are you early 20s or something like that? But that's admirable to think that you've been an Elvis fan since you were 2. It's just something about his voice, isn't there? His voice and his looks. If you see a picture of Elvis when you're young, even when you're young, you just know there's something special about him. You really do. No, my parents weren't really Elvis fans. My mum kind of understood why I was a fan and liked some of his songs and things like that. And she did profess how sad it was the day he died. I think everybody, just. Uh, Jake says he turned 15 12 days ago. Happy birthday. I do like the song Danny Boy, yeah. And there's a couple of outtakes, isn't there, that he recorded at Graceland, and it's really, really good. What is your email address? My email address is Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. So it's Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel, all one big long word, at gmail.com. King says he only became an Elvis fan after Elvis died. Yeah, that's just the power of Elvis, isn't it? You know. Vincenzo says 4 years old. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people discovering Elvis after he died. You know. Yeah, Mary says she's proud to be an Elvis fan, and why wouldn't you be? You know. Larry said in the interview, Larry Strickland said, he was such a special person. Everybody knew who was in his presence that he was such a special person, and he also said that he was the best vocal he ever heard in his life. Larry wasn't saying that lightly. He says he had the best vocal that I have ever heard in my life. And can you imagine being Larry and standing on stage all those nights and just being a few feet away from Elvis and watching him perform night after night after night? I don't know who I've got lined up for interviews over the next few weeks. What comes to fruition. I want to try and get Elvis's co-stars. I want to get girlfriends and people like that. People that, fans want to hear from. So there's a few. I'd love to get Jerry Schilling. I'd love to get Linda, but I think Linda is not going to come through. No, Cherry, unfortunately, the last record was not Unchained Melody, no. It's a great performance, though, from Rapid City. Yeah, BP Monkman says he likes the thing he said about the first time he met Elvis. Yeah, Elvis asked who's the farmer, because he was wearing bib overalls. No, Linda didn't say why she wouldn't give me an interview, and I haven't actually approached Dixie yet. I wouldn't mind speaking to Dixie. Debbie says she's ordered the Nashville vinyl. Yeah, I'd say that's going to be something else. When I get to hear it, I can't wait to hear it. Yeah, well, Robert says a lot of young fans interested in Elvis, and that's good. It is. It always is good. And I often think, doing this channel and things like that, if I can turn on people as fans, then that's great. People watch my videos or watch this, and they become interested in Elvis, then that's my job done. Yeah, if I could get Sissy Houston, it would be good. Would you be able to get an interview with Stella Stevens? Yeah, I'd be interested in speaking to Stella Stevens. The thing is, I don't know. There's rumors that she wasn't that enamored with Elvis. Now, I'd love to ask her straight, is it true? Whether she would answer, I don't know. There was video of, well, there was not video inside Graceland of the funeral, but there's plenty of footage outside of the funeral procession. Yeah, I want to try and get hold of Nancy Sinatra as well. Shelley Faberez would be another good one. Yeah. Somebody says there that they've been an Elvis fan from 13 years old and they will stay there. It's to stay a fan for life. Yeah. Andre, thanks for all the work you do for us. Appreciate it very much. Thanks. Andre, thank you very much for your super chat. It's much appreciated. Oh, Stella said in an interview she was not impressed with Elvis. Fair enough. I would, if I got an interview with Stella, I'd probably ask her to elaborate why she wasn't impressed. She might just say she wasn't impressed. It was because Elvis was from Memphis and Stella had a bad experience with a boyfriend from Memphis. But that she shouldn't have held that against Elvis. Anyway, he wasn't originally from Memphis. He was from Tupelo, as we know. I like some of the songs with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. I don't really like the duets. There's one Just Pretend, isn't there? And I just want Elvis singing Just Pretend. I don't want anybody else singing Just Pretend with him. Yeah, well, Elvis probably wasn't impressed with Stella, David. Yeah, but he was probably too much of a gentleman to let it show. Joseph, me and a friend thumb rided from Louisiana to the International Hotel to see Elvis when I was 70 years old. Wow, that was some trip, I'd say. Mary, Stella Stevens, who was in Girls with Elvis. Yeah, Deborah Paget would be another one, wouldn't it? Yeah, to get hold of. I must start making a list of all these people. I could definitely do it full time, couldn't I? I could do one Monday to Friday. Yeah, Ursula Andress. Yeah, is Ursula still alive? Is Ursula still with us? We lost. Yeah. Yeah, Rob is saying that he doesn't like the "If I Can Dream" duet. I actually touched on that, I think, last week. I was saying that I thought that she was overdoing it and she was trying to scream over Elvis, and I didn't like it at all, the Celine Dion one. Would you like me... I'll tell you another one, actually, I wouldn't mind, is... yeah, somebody's saying Joan Blackman, yeah. She loved Elvis. They got on really, really well. There's another girl as well, Joan Freeman. You remember Joan that was in Roustabout? I'd love to have a word with her as well, because you don't hear a lot from Joan. And I'd love to hear her memories of Roustabout. Johnny Cash has done a Royal Philharmonic Orchestra one as well. Yeah, I haven't heard it. I don't know whether I will, because it's not that I don't listen to anybody else outside Elvis. I do, but I would more concentrate on Elvis and Elvis's music for this channel. Gives me ideas about what to talk about and what to do and so forth, and who to talk to. So I think I am going to say who has won this week's Fan of the Week, and I am going to pick randomly by dropping this pen, and whoever the names I've got listed down, and whoever it falls to, the closest to, is the winner. Okay. Yay! Charles says that they've sent her Nashville set, and she'll be getting it shortly. No, Elvis didn't record Feelings. He might have stabbed at it, but he didn't. Yeah, Steve, the most difficult to interview at your channel is Anne Margaret and Priscilla Presley. Yeah, and both of them, I would actually interview them at the drop of a hat. I would drop everything if I knew they would talk to me. I was a bit tempted, Banjo Paul, to probe a little bit about, when Larry saw Elvis in his coffin. I wasn't going to ask him Was it Elvis? Because that's been asked so many times, and I know the answer to that. And the answer is yes, that was Elvis in the casket. Elvis is passed, and Elvis passed on August the 16th, 1977. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to randomly pick now a name, and it could be male or female. So we could potentially have the first female winner, or the boys could get it 3 in a row. So here we go. All right, here we go. We have a winner. And the winner is female. The boys haven't got 3 in a row. Doug Dickerson has been knocked off his perch. He's been dethroned. And it's Ruth Daniel. Okay, so Ruth, if you're still watching, I hope you're still watching, you have now wrestled the crown from Doug Dickerson. And you've also stopped the boys from getting 3 in a row. So yay for Ruth Daniel. And one up for the girls. So it's now boys 2, girls 1. So I wonder whether next week it'll go 3-1 or will it go to 2-2. Okay. So the answers, I haven't given you the answers. Hey Rossi, has been a while. How you doing, mate? How are you keeping? Drop me an email if you want to come on the show. I was saying if people want to come on, Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. If you want to come on the show and maybe discuss Elvis, you can come on the live stream for a few minutes. Yeah, Doug, I agree with Jan. Doug is still a hero. So yeah, the answers are: what was the final track Elvis recorded in a recording studio setting? It was a vocal overdub of He'll Have to Go on Saturday, October the 30th, 1976 in the Jungle Room in Graceland. Okay. It was just the vocal track that he added. The instrumental track had already been done. And and that was it. That was the last time he ever did anything in the recording studio. JC22, you also got it right, but unfortunately you weren't picked at random. If that makes sense. You were right, but you weren't picked out of the hat. Okay. Question 2. When did Elvis spend his first night in Graceland? After coming back from filming Jailhouse Rock in Hollywood, he spent his first full night at Graceland Wednesday, June the 26th, 1957. Okay. And funnily enough, June the 26th is quite a red letter day in Elvis's life, because not only was it the first night he spent in his beautiful home, Graceland, it was also, June the 26th was also Colonel Parker's birthday. It was also, June the 26th was also the final concert in Indianapolis, Indiana, on June the 26th, 1977, exactly 20 years later after his first night in Graceland. And it was also 2 years after Elvis died, June 26th, 1979, his father passed away. So June 26th was quite a red letter day. I'm sure there's other things that happened for Elvis on June the 26th down through the years as well, but that's the ones that spring to mind. And the answer to question 3, where was Elvis's final live performance of the 1950s? I saw quite a few people saying this and saying November 57 and Hawaii and all this. So, you know, there's a lot of people out there that know their stuff. And it was on Monday, November the 11th, 1957, and it was at Schofield Barracks, Pearl Harbor. So the answer to that is Hawaii. And that was his last performance of the 1950s, and he wouldn't perform live again until 1961. It was a long time, wasn't it? But not as long as 1961 to 1968 or 1969 even. Debbie is disappointed. Well, there's always next week. Cheryl Lynn, you were close as well. David got 3 out of 3. I think you did, David. I think your name was down. Yeah, your name was down, David. And also Martin. Now, there's Ruth. Well done, Ruth. Martin, but there was no second name. It was just Martin in the chat. He got it right as well. Did people think that those questions were too difficult or too easy, or am I making them too difficult? I'm conscious that if I make them too easy, then there'll be just loads and loads and loads of people just bang the questions. I mean, if I ask the question like what was Elvis's middle name and things like that, okay, there'll be two spellings. There'll be a single A and a double A, but I know a lot of people would probably know the final track that recorded was "He'll Have to Go," because that's quite an easy one. But I thought maybe that the date that he spent his first night in Graceland would trip some people up, because even though he bought Graceland in April, he didn't actually get to spend a full night in it until June. He couldn't wait to get home from Jailhouse Rock. Ruth says the questions are hard but good. Yeah, but Ruth, you got them. I think what I might do next week is just split them up and give you a question at the start and a question in the middle and then a question at the end, and see how they come in. It might be easier for me to read the answers as they come in as well, because I actually miss a lot of the answers because it's going so quick and I'm talking and looking down and things like that. So it might be unfair. Yeah, Banjo says he couldn't wait to get away from the neighbours. Yeah, they were giving him a hard time, weren't they? He was only in Audubon for 12 months. You did, I think, Jake. I think you were down as well. Well done, Jake. Yeah, I mean, you're a very young fan as well, and to know the answers to those questions, I'm pretty sure you did. You can look back actually. I've just given you the answers. It's amazing how quickly Elvis's life turned around between sort of 1955 and 1957. They went from sort of living in a small home, if you like, in Memphis to Graceland within the space of like 2 years. Unbelievable. I bet they couldn't believe it. Yeah, Cliff Richard is a huge fan of Elvis. I don't know whether he'd speak to me though. I don't even know how I'd get hold of him. BP Monkman, I think you were close. Do you know BP Monkman? I think you might even have been right. Yeah, Chris is saying that she thinks that Billy and Elvis had a pledge. That's right. He tells us about the pledge at the end of the Revelations of the Memphis Mafia, the Alan and Ash book about the pledge. He doesn't tell us what the special word was, though. He wouldn't, but Banjo is going. Well, I'm going to wrap this up as well. And as I say every week, without your participation, this would be nothing. So don't forget that every one of you out there that watches, everybody that comments and leaves me super chats and things like that, they are most appreciated. And until next week, when we join again, don't forget, if you want to contact me, Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. I've enjoyed it greatly again. I am going to say goodbye. And don't forget to check out my my YouTube channel for all the Elvis related videos. And thanks very much. Please look after yourselves, because I know there was a lot of good news coming out from the press this week about the vaccine and all this and all that and so forth. But please do look after yourselves and keep safe. And until we meet again, may God bless you.